So you guys remember how we designed the PI using GMC? GM, if I call it CI, RP, R1, R2, this was V out, this was CTRL, negative feedback. So, and this will be your Vref, but for a small signal, this Vref will be ground. Okay. So we can make it ground. So now, in order to convert this to type 3, what do I need? What do I need? Second 0. Huh? How can I add second 0 here? Can I do it by simply adding one cap? If I add a cap here, what will happen? If I call it, let's say, CD. This will have a 0 or not? Where will be that pole? Okay. So, if I take only this portion, and I call it VFB, I don't need to look at the whole transfer function. Huh? Only this portion is changing. So, I can just find VFB over V out and see what is happening here. This will be here R2 into R2 plus is correct. So, Z2 Y1 Z2, or let me write this way. So, this is nothing but Z2 Y1 over 1 plus, or Z2 Y1 plus 1, which is nothing but Z2 over Z1 plus Z2. Okay. Since this is parallel, so that's why I converted that Z1 to Y1, so that you can simply add the two terms, the conductance. So now let's simplify this. You get R2 over R1, 1 plus R1 CDS divided by R2 by R1 plus R2 CDS plus 1. Okay. So if I move this R2 by R1, if I take R2 by R1 common, so you will have R1 CDS divided by 1 plus R1 R1 R2 by R1 plus R2 CD
DC gain is R2 by R1. R2 by R1.
R2 by R1 plus R2. Okay, which is nothing but beta 1 plus R1 CDS divided by 1 plus beta R1 CDS. So you have a 0 at R1 CD, 1 over R1 CD, which is same as your op amp case, but you have a pole which is appearing at beta R1 CDS. So if beta is, let us say 1, they will cancel out each other. So the effect of 0 is gone, because what is happening here, beta 1 means R2 is gone. If I remove R2, then beta becomes 1. So whether you have this cap or not, this GM input will always see V out. So this capacitor will not help. But if you have a beta factor, which means the feedback voltage is divided that much depending upon beta, and if your beta is much smaller, let us say 1 by 100, then you get a 100 times gain advantage there, and the effect of 0 will come into picture. So this is only effective if your beta is very small, and we know that this pole should be outside UGB, we cannot keep this, otherwise effect of 0 will go away. So in order to place this pole outside UGB, and we know omega Z1 is appearing, omega Z2 is appearing at omega naught, and omega naught is even lower than your omega UGB, and this pole should be maybe 5 to 10 times away, okay, which means you may require like 40 or 50 gain here. Your beta should be 1 over 50 kind of number, 1 over 40, 50, which is unrealistic. That means your reference voltage should be order of tens of millivolt. It does not make any sense in that case. We do not want to keep the reference voltage too low, otherwise it will become more sensitive to noise. Okay. So this will not help. So which means effect of 0 is cancelled out due to pole. Okay. So this is your 0 and this is your pole. So what do I need to do? Which means this is not the correct way. I need to modify this. So what if I do this? I will call it GMD. RD CD. So what is happening here? This RDCD will have, so this is a high pass filter, so it will have a pole at origin, okay, and 0 at origin and pole at 1 over RDCD. So RDCD is in my control, so I can choose RDCD in such a way that this pole is pushed at outside, and when this the derivative component or the RDCD passes through the GM, this will get added here and will give me a 0. Okay, so if you find, I mean, you can derive the transfer function of this and find where exactly the poles and zeros are. I have to simply apply KCL here. Okay. So this is nothing but beta V naught. So how many currents we have? 1, 2, 3 currents. Okay. So RD CDS over 1 plus RD CDS. This will get multiplied by V out into GMD. That is the first current, and since it's going outside, so let's coming inside, if I take a negative, so this will become negative. So because we are giving at input negative input, so from GM point of view this current will be negative, and this guy will be beta V naught into GM, correct? Minus. Okay, because this is coming at a negative and direction is opposite, so if you are taking it minus, the other should also be minus. Okay. So VC TRL divided by RP plus 1 over CIS equal to 0. Okay. So which means VCTRL CIS over 1 plus RP CIS VCTRL equal to minus of your V out is common, so what I have RD CD over S 1 plus RD CDS plus beta GMD. Okay. So if I know 1 over RD CD is, I can ignore that. I want to place this pole outside EGB and that too at much higher frequency, 5 to 10 times, then I can ignore. So it will simplify this.
So it will be minus beta GM minus GMD plus
So VCTRL over V out.
GMD.
So this will become 1 over CIS, and you have this 0, 1 plus RP CIS, and then you have this guy RD CDS GMD plus beta GM. And if I take a beta GM outside, so beta GM over CIS 1 plus RP CIS into 1 plus RD CD over beta GMD over GMS. Correct? So now, which means this is my H of COM 3s. Is this looking quite similar to what we had in op-amp? So this was your Ki outside, and we are already getting the beta factor because feedback factor will come into picture here in the gain. Okay. Now we don't have to add any beta here because I am looking the transfer function from V out. If let's say I was looking from VFB, then additional beta you have to include. But since I am looking from V out, so this is exactly the same transfer function which you got in the op-amp. In the op-amp also we calculated V control over V out. Here also we are controlling V control over V out. So the first 0 is 1 over RPCI. This will not change. Now second 0 is coming at where? So your Ki is beta Gm over Ci. Omega Z1 is 1 over Rp Ci, and omega Z2 is what? 1 over beta Gm beta
GMD by GM into RDC. Beta GM
beta over Rd
CD
Cd
into GMD by GM.
Gm by Gmd. Okay. So what does it mean? So beta RDCD you have already fixed. RDCD is
Very come back to
okay. So let's say I keep beta equal to 2, RDCD equal to
beta should be
sorry half. Okay. RD 1 over RDCD is, let's say I keep it 5 times of omega UGB. So omega Z2 is where? 1 by 2 times of this will be 5 times. So how much will that be? 5 by 2 omega UGB into Gm over GMD, and we want omega Z2 at, let's say, omega naught. Then from here I can calculate omega naught equal to 2.5 omega UGB Gm by GMD. This implies GMD equal to 2.5 times omega UGB over omega naught multiplied by Gm. Okay. So once you choose the Gm, and this GMD is going to be high because omega UGB is, we know, at higher frequency than omega naught. Okay. So can anybody remember the numbers in the example we took? Where was omega naught and where was omega UGB is 100K and
omega naught was
4 times 174 kilo or 174 kilo radian, kilohertz. So omega UGB will be 628 kilo radian. 100 kilohertz is 628 kilo radian. So 628 divided by 174, how much is that?
3.6
3.6 multiplied by 2.5,
9.02.
roughly 9 times, or close to 10 times you can say. So if I choose a GM, let's say 1 milli, then that should be 10 milli kind of number. So this ratio now will decide the location of your, because we don't have any control to RDCD. RDCD is, once you have fixed, you cannot change that to move your 0, because that will affect your pole also. And omega UGB, omega naught both are decided. So the GMD, GM is the ratio of GM and GMD is the only thing which you can, and so the advantage here is GMD will independently control the 0 actually. It will not affect anything. If I change the GMD, it will only move my 0. It will not affect any of the other factors. So independently you can control both the zeros here. Okay. And first 0 I know it's coming from 1 over RPCI. So if I change RP, then 0 will change, but it will change my proportional gain also. So, but proportional gain is what? GM into RP. So if I increase the RP, I can reduce the GM proportionally. So that product will remain same. So it will not affect my loop gain. So now both the zeros you can tune independently here. That's the advantage with this, which is not possible in case of op amp. Until you design the your integral, proportional and derivative components separately like we saw and add them together, then you can control. But here you can do that quite easily, and GM can be controlled by simply by controlling your bias current. Okay. So I fed the same thing in the Excel. Now I can relate that and find my KI GM. So GM, if I am choosing let's say 100 micro. Okay. So the GMD I am getting, how much is this? I am getting 18 times here. Why it's coming 5 times? It should be 2.5, huh? Okay. 2.5 and the ratio of your omega UGB and omega naught. So it's 9 times now, correct? And we already know that we require those 2 poles. So the first pole can be your RDCD, and second pole you can add a capacitor at the output of your PI. So that parallel cap, the RP parallel with that cap will give you the second pole. So those 2 poles. So you don't need, basically you don't require to add any additional cap here to get the second pole, because that is second pole is already there in CDRD. So the values I have calculated, omega Z1, okay, omega Z1 is half of your omega naught, and that is at omega naught. So based on that I have calculated the CI, what the CI will be required there. GM by default you can choose some value, 100 micro, 1 milli, whatever, that will decide here. GMD you will also get from there. Omega P1 is nothing but that pole, so I am keeping that at 5 times of UGB, and then CD. So once I fix the value of RD, so CD means nothing but this cap, and I want to use a very small cap. I don't want to bloat my area, so I am choosing here 1 microfarad, 1 picofarad. 1 picofarad gives me 3.18 into 10 power 5, which is 318 kilo, that resistance. And then this is coming at 286 picofarad. So that capacitor we already saw that in case of GM, when we designed PI, that cap was much large. Because of the GM, we are choosing a higher GM. If I lower the GM, let's say I make it instead of 110, then this will become 28.6 picofarad, but then issue will be the offset. So that's why we don't choose too low. Then RP we already know, so we know CI, we know the location of first 0, so RP can be calculated, and omega P2 can be introduced by simply adding a cap there. So that's what I did here. I will just show you the circuit, and okay. So 100 micro I am choosing, 286 pico is my cap. I am adding additional cap here, 7.94 pico, to get the second pole. First pole is coming from here, and 0 will also come from this and GM 1.8. So, let us see, rest of the things should remain same and the UGB of this should be around 100 kilo, and you should have a phase margin of maybe 70, more than 70 degrees we are getting. So, UGB is it's exactly same, we are getting 110K, you are getting 110K here, and if I look at phase, then 64. So, without those poles we were getting more than 70, but those poles will cause drop in the phase margin, that is why now you are getting 60, which is. So, from here if you look at a, I mean for how much range, it is like 50K, from 50K to up to 300K. So, for pretty wide range of frequencies, even if your UGB is changing due to loop gain and all those, or due to let us say PBT variations, still your phase margin will be maintained for wide range of frequency, because this, if you look at this portion, it is extended from here to which is omega naught until the 3 times of your UGB, which is good enough actually. And if I want to look at the output of this, you can see the similar thing. Okay. So, if I want to, if I change this, let us say 10, this should become how much, 180 micro. What else I need to change?
Capacitors.
Why capacitor?
GM.
This which capacitor? So, first you need to change this, GMR product should be same,
Okay.
and this will be reduced to 28.6. So, it should not change my loop gain response. You will still get at, where is that 0 dB? What happened? 180 micro, 10 micro. No, this was 100 micro, 1.8 milli. Oh, this cap actually. Okay. Now it is coming inside your 10 times. So, this should be 1/10 of this, which will become how much? 794 femto, huh? Correct? Okay, now you are getting 110K. Okay. So, there is a trade off between offset and your cap values, but if you can use offset cancellation and all those techniques here in GM, still you can use a lower GM and get a. So, advantage here is like you can design everything in a lower power consumption. Area, don't know, I mean you may get a similar area what you get with the op amp, but here the advantage is like if you look at a total cap, only 1 picofarad is required for the 0, that in the other case we are looking at 57 picofarad. So, 2 caps of 57 picofarad, but here the total cap is less than 50 pico, it is only almost half of that. So, total cap if you add is 1/4 actually. So, the area also you may get a benefit here, and the another advantage you get a tunability here. You can tune your by simply with the current. So, you can add a current DAX inside your GM and tune the zeros, which is not possible in case of op amp, because you have to tune both R and C's, which will disturb almost everything here just by simply changing the GM. So, you can use a current DAC inside GM and R DAC at the RP and tune it according to your. So, somebody wants to put, let us say your omega naught will get changed Accordingly, you can change the 0 by simply feeding the digital bits.